Good morning. I say the same thing every day, but I mean it. Good morning. Good morning. It's Friday. Okay, today I'm talking about, in fact, can I change my screen so I can know? If Facebook comments me, I can't see. So I've got my notes up. I'm not good enough yet to just well, I am. That's a lie. But I like to have my structured notes so I don't go off on tangents. So if anyone messages on Facebook, I will have to reply after. So I want to talk today about the difference slightly between emotional eating and binge eating and why people get it confused. There's two primary reasons why people confuse binge eating, that is eating in reaction to dieting or thinking about dieting or diet mentality, and they confuse that with emotional eating. That is eating for pleasure, to soothe yourself, or for comfort. So just let me say that again. Binge eating is eating in reaction to deprivation, oncoming deprivation, or just general diet noise in your brain. And emotional eating is eating to either cover your emotions, heighten your emotions, or simply just for pleasure. So if you're not sure about the difference completely, I've wrote 2 juicy blogs on my website. So just go to my website, victoriakleinsman.com, and under the word juice, I don't know why I use the word juice, it just sounded relevant, and you can see the binge eating and the emotional eating blog there. So check that out. But the first reason that binge eating is often confused with emotional eating is that our willpower, our ability to diet or to restrict food, decreases when we're stressed or managing difficult feelings. So if you're using willpower to hold yourself back from eating specific foods, you're more likely to crack or fall off the wagon when difficult feelings come up. And this is not the same thing as emotional eating, which has nothing to do with willpower, by the way. So binge eating has everything to do with willpower and emotional eating does not. This is a rebellion against restriction, binge eating is. That's been brought to the surface early because our ability to restrict said food has been brought on by stress. So the emotional eating part is nothing to do with willpower, but emotions can lead to binge eating sooner rather than later. So I hope you're still with me. So to be clear, dieting or diet mentality is still the real culprit in this example. Falling off the wagon is pretty inevitable if you're using willpower to suppress your true desires around food. Difficult feelings only speed up that inevitable process along. Okay, so the reason that people confuse binge eating with emotional eating is that emotional eating can easily trigger a binge. So if you're struggling with diet mentality, and I say the word diet mentality a lot, please check out that blog I was talking about if you want to know what this even means. If you're struggling with diet mentality a lot around your emotional eating choices, you're going to succumb to the binge eating sooner rather than later just because of stress, for example. So if we judge then our emotional eating as wrong or bad, or if our emotional eating urges come in conflict with what we think we're supposed to eat, we will almost surely fall off the wagon when we slip at the hands of an emotional urge. So often emotional eating and binge eating are all entwined together. If you're a binge eater, you're almost definitely going to be an emotional eater as well. So what could be a brownie or two when we're bored turns into a whole batch of brownies, or the kitchen sink as well, let's be honest, because we've already quote screwed up. Better get it in now because I'm going to start again tomorrow. That's dieting mentality too. In other words, emotional eating turns into a binge when we have diet mentality around it. That is when we judge our emotional eating as not okay. It is okay, by the way. Or we deem ourselves off the wagon. This is why allowance of emotional eating behaviours is so critical to long-term binge eating recovery. I hope this makes sense. Allowance of emotional eating is critical to binge eating recovery. So if you want to go deeper into all of this, and you want to go deeper into what's driving your emotional eating or binge eating patterns, I really hope to see you in the End the Binge Diet Cycle Masterclass. Good morning, Kirsten. I've just seen your comment. So check that out on my website and let me know if you'd like more information. But ending this diet binge cycle is crucial to reaching any of your health-related goals. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, yeah, I want to give up dieting and binge eating, but I still want to be a certain hashtag body size or body goal or whatever, whether that is or is not possible, you cannot get there without dealing with and addressing your dieting mentality first, because otherwise you're going to end up in that whole diet binge cycle, which I'm guessing you're in now. So you can do it, it absolutely can be possible, and it's so freeing when it's done, and it's amazing. So shout out if you want me to talk about anything in any day. I love inspiration, I love questions, just let me know. Happy Friday, have an amazing weekend.